Hi there. Welcome to the From Lab to Launch podcast by Qualio, where we share inspiring stories from the people on the front lines of life sciences. Tune in and leave inspired to bring your life-saving products to the world.
Welcome back to another episode of From Lab to Launch by Qualio, where we introduce you to today's innovators in life sciences. I'm Meg, your host, and today we're excited to welcome Navin Dewagan, the CEO of Boston-based Digital Health Solutions. Digital Health Solutions acts as the innovation partner for medical device and healthcare firms. Navin and his team help healthcare solution providers accelerate their medical products into the market by leveraging years of domain experience in IoT and cloud development, cybersecurity, mobile development, and embedded software development for healthcare applications. Digital Health Solutions offers end-to-end software product expertise from ideation to design and development, re-engineering, testing, and verification and validation. Plus, with a wide range of services that are close to our hearts here at Qualio, the team offers comprehensive quality and compliance support to help customers meet the complex regulatory demands of standards like IEC 62304, ISO 13485, and ISO 14971. Navin, thanks so much for joining us today on From Lab to Launch.
And Meg, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for hosting me. I look forward to our conversation.
Right, well, let's get started. Navin, you've worked in a series of engineering and software development roles before joining Digital Health Solutions. Can you give us an overview of your journey into your current role?
Yeah, thank you, Meg. I was growing up, I grew up in India. I was always a STEM kid, was very excited by technology. So I went to college for electrical engineering and computer science. Was very fortunate to get a teaching fellowship at Boston University in biomedical engineering. It's a wonderful program. I got admitted a long time ago, 30 years ago, for a master's degree. But I wanted to apply principles of engineering, benefits of engineering in healthcare space, right? The vision was as simple as that. And I was very fortunate to land in Boston. It's a hub of innovation, hub of all kinds of expertise. So I landed here August 1993. My first flight ever anywhere in the world was from India to Boston. I've never left Boston. I love the city. I love our community in the medical innovation space. And through my career, over the last 3 decades now, I've worked on various roles as a hands-on engineer, writing software for innovative medical device applications to leadership roles. And then at a point of my career, I saw a lot of exciting opportunity and took a risk, became an entrepreneur, formed my own company, my first company, in 2014 with some modest friends and family funding, but addressing a very big unmet healthcare need, which is to provide EEG brainwave monitoring from emergency department and ICUs. There was a lot of delay, and there still is, on giving diagnosis for patients that are showing signs of that. You need a test before you begin the therapy. Would take 2 to 3 days for the diagnosis. So a solution was very simple. A nurse at hospital would put an electrode cap on, data streams over cloud, and reviewed by a panel of techs, EEG techs, and neurologists who are remote but willing to provide services for fee. There was very good reimbursement as well. So it was a perfect business plan, right? This was in 2014, maybe a little bit ahead of time. But the company went out of business after 2 years of operations, even though we got a lot of good backing from FDA, had amazing pre-submission meetings with FDA. We did very good engineering. I just concluded I was not good at raising money. That was the root cause of the failure. And then I worked in some great companies, Medtronic, Fresenius, etc. And when my company failed, I made 2 promises to myself. Number one was, I will never start a company again. Not for me. I clearly have broken that promise. The second was acknowledgement that I'm not the best person to be raising money. So I'm not going to raise money. I'll build a company without raising investor money. grow it slow, grow it organic, but build something that would last. So that was 6 years ago. I left my job at Fresenius. I was employed in Waltham, another amazing company. They're our client now, by the way. So journey has been amazing. I got a break and I found a space where nobody was operating in, which is, how many entrepreneurs may want to think, maybe they think. So the space was there are some great consulting firms in Boston that provide high-end engineering consulting. Then there are some overseas firms that provide very low cost, right, but may not be the best quality. While the Boston firms are very expensive, especially for some startup companies. And then I also saw a pattern where somebody does engineering, somebody else would establish a QMS, right, in a system like Qualio, and then do a submission, maybe a third company, and somebody totally different may do manufacturing. So I thought, how about a company that does everything under one roof? And that's where we are today. That was not my thought on the first day, but that's where we are today. So we have half our capacity in India to provide some low-cost benefits wherever we can get work done there. We use our brilliant India team, and rest of them like interfacing with FDA, regulatory strategy, working with founders and CEOs or directors and CTOs. We all do in with my US team to work efficiently with them. And that has resulted in very good, modest but very good growth for us. So we are more than 30 full-time engineers in the company and do all end-to-end engineering. We have made many founders and companies successful and absolutely loving that journey and living that dream, Max. So very happy to be here talking about that.
Yeah, thank you so much for being candid and sharing your journey of firsts and what you perceive as failures, but I'm sure that you've learned a lot of lessons in that first company that failed that have contributed to your success with digital health solutions.
Absolutely. I did not, I saw it as a failure when it failed, right? And it was very tough. But what do you do, right? You fall on your face, you get up and walk. I have 3 children, all getting ready for college, so I had no option. But looking back, what I learned is tremendous.
Great. Thanks, Naveen. Can you walk us through some trends and developments you've seen in medical devices and SAMD in the last year, and how is the industry evolving?
So one of the benefits we have seen is utilizing connectivity and internet in medical device. Pretty much all medical devices today can benefit from being connected, right? They make them more useful, give insights to data, may allow early intervention, right? We know all about that. But then there is a responsibility that comes with that. There are bad elements in the world, right? You have to protect patients against them. And FDA has been a good guiding force with their guidance documents on cybersecurity, that keep everyone behaving as responsible citizens like we should. So that is while it is a very exciting opportunity for various medical devices, right, to leverage connectivity, there are some responsibilities as well. Nothing unlike other regulations on design controls, software development lifecycle, risk management. All these processes are there for a reason. They result in higher quality medical device products. And newest addition to all of those standards and regulations we've been working with has been cybersecurity. So that has been very exciting. And many times I get so surprised by use cases people come up with, right? So times are very good. We see all kinds of very interesting innovations take place, founded by amazing founders. It has been very exciting, Shannon.
And what are these founders of these companies coming as customers to digital solutions? What kind of services are they getting from digital solutions?
So a common theme I see is right that all these successful companies that come to us, they either have a very impressive prototype, right? It's a prototype and a concept that addresses a market need that's not been addressed, but it needs to be translated from advanced prototype to a finished medical grade product with all the needed documentation, and then FDA clearance, and then manufacturing. But then while they're great in the innovation space, they many times require some help that are appropriate for a startup company. I'll give a couple of examples, right? For example, if this is similar to one of our current clients, if you have a camera-based technology that looks at patient and calculates some vitals, right? What if there is tattoo on patient's face? Okay, you can solve for tattoo by very clever, advanced image processing algorithms, etc. Or you can simply contraindicate with FDA that, don't use device on such patients and all. That may save 1 year. That may save $5 million for a first-time founder of a company, for example, right? So many times founders may not even be aware of what options they have, right? FDA word is a little bit scary to most people. But then if they work with teams like ours who have done this few times before, it becomes easier. Also, they have limited funds and they have limited time as well, right? There's competition too. And naturally, their board, their investors want to use funds wisely. So, for example, you may have best quality management system in the world, right? But it's appropriate for J&J and Medtronic, maybe not appropriate for a small startup company, which is where for my own company, we license Qualio, and Qualio is our go-to QMS system. I'm not saying it because we are on the podcast. I truly believe it. So we've been putting several of our clients in Qualio. You can operate very lean. We have our standard SOPs we apply and quickly get in compliance and take benefit of QMS as well, while more funds then become available for their core competency, the innovation they're introducing. So that's what we do. We help clients get to market early, use their funds wisely, help them achieve goals so they can do what I cannot do. Show to investors, look, we achieved these goals. Let's do next round of funding, right? So trying to help my founder community in that sense.
Well, and I love that Qualio has a part in that too. What are
Absolutely.
yeah, that's awesome. What are some of the most significant challenges you faced at Digital Health Solutions and how have you overcome them?
Um, so, when I started the company, this was Q2 of 2019. And a few months into starting my brand new company after a failed startup, we had COVID, right? Nobody knew what was going to happen. And, we had no investors. So it's all cash flow that matters, right? Our client companies would pay, and these were startup companies. And then we would be able to maintain payroll. So that was a big early startup challenge. We did survive. We had my wife who supported me very well. We had to take a second mortgage on our home. And just as we reached max, things became very different. The world, started working on COVID tests and, all those remote patient monitoring solutions. And our fortunes changed as well. So that was one of the big hurdles early on. It's always difficult to find best talent, and we continue to take that as a challenge, but also always work on addressing that, right? My company is going to be as good as our employees are. So we do take pride in a very stringent process in hiring our employees, training them. But as we grow, we need to hire more people. I need to connect with more client companies to do consulting for them. So those are usual challenges. But COVID at starting of our business, yeah, that was a challenge.
Great. Thanks for sharing that. Navin, can you tell us about any significant collaborations or partnerships you have in the works?
So, we treat all our projects as partnerships, right? Especially if it's a very early stage company. So partnerships in the context, many times for an early stage startup, do you show some prototype to investors and then get money? Or do you get money first so you can fund building of the prototype, right? That's a chicken or egg problem.
Yeah.
So what partnership means to me is taking risk along with our clients, helping them grow. We grow together. As they grow, we'll get more business. There is a very interesting use case I can talk about. It's a Canadian company working on a very innovative solution for detecting potassium in blood at point of care setting and at home. And I became sort of their first investor to solve this chicken and egg problem. They're brilliant ideas, great patents, great founder team. And today they are doing very well. And we have been able to grow very well along with them as well, right? We started off doing just software development for them. Then we took on electronics as they grew. And when they got ready for QMS, and this is just as of maybe 2 months ago, they said, look, I mean, you helped us get this far. I know you'll use our dollars wisely. Can you put together a QMS without breaking bank? And, naturally, I introduced them to Qualio. We got a good quote, and we are in process of putting together a great QMS, doing pre-submission meeting for them shortly, and then, get them to market after FDA clearance sooner than what they had thought when they were founding the company, when they got their first investment. So it's an amazing story. Now, of course, we have to kind of walk the walk as well and do the submission, but looking very good so far. So these partnerships with these companies, where I build friendly relationships also with the founders, it's been just truly enjoyable. And then, as we move along, we come across again, companies like Qualio. Your platform is good. You're one phone call away. And we are able to, again, put lean QMS together. It does not break the bank to license your system. It's worth the price, as I would say. But, you can put time and energy and money on these other things. And I know as they get bigger, right, you'll have more Qualio used for, complaints management, vendor management, all of that. So this growing together with partnership of various kinds is just very enjoyable.
Yeah, I love that synergistic approach to growing with your customers, and it's just icing on top that Quality gets to be a part of that growth
So,
together. Lovely.
I think it's best in the class for you.
Thank you. I think so too. Do you think modern quality and compliance demands are getting tougher for medical devices to meet,
I
Naveen?
don't think so. I don't believe so. I think I believe they are where they should be. You have to demonstrate, right? Essentially, safety and efficacy. It's not anything more complex than that. And the lesser cowboys we have in the industry, right? People kind of just being careless with what they're offering, pose a risk to patients, etc., and not effective. We want to avoid that. So I think the kind of regulations we have, my opinion is they're appropriate, keeps
Yeah.
everybody in line.
Yeah. I imagine the tools like Qualio and Jira
Yes.
and things to do software development make the easier to meet those compliance requirements too in the modern.
Absolutely. It speeds up the process, uses time wisely. So I come from days where we used to have paper-based system, right? And a folder would go office to office, right? In today's world of, remote and all of that would be impossible. But tools like Qualio, tools like Jira that we use for organizing our work, those are amazing. So we build all this as part of our infrastructure, essentially IT infrastructure, right? So Qualio is a QMS tool, but I think many times of that as a IT tool, just like Outlook. It's so integrated, just like Jira is with our workflow. You don't have to think about it. It's not a hurdle we overcome. It's a tool we exercise every day.
I agree. Thanks, Naveen. Looking at our aspiring scientists and innovators listening to our podcast, what advice would you give those looking to make a significant impact in the medical device world?
So I'm going to say take risks, right? That is important. You have to take measured risk. Surround yourself with right people, right advisors. And then, in my early career days, I did not network as much as I should have. I tell that to my children who are in college, and I would tell them to early stage entrepreneurs with big dreams as well. to network. LinkedIn, for example, is amazing a tool for networking. So yeah, those are some advices.
Great. Thank you for that. Given the complexities and high stakes of quality and compliance for medical device companies, what strategies do you implement to maximize quality, and what do you do as a design and contract manufacturer partner there?
So, so I'm going to give a little broader answer and bring in regulatory as well in the picture, right? So having a high level regulatory strategy in context of, de novo versus 510(k), for example, tied to your indication for use, which is then tied to your business objective, and which is then tied to your voice of customer, etc. All of that needs to be streamlined and work together, right? Cannot be afterthought. The same goes for quality and a QMS system as well, right? Maybe a design control or software development lifecycle SOP are appropriate for a large organization which has a very large group of engineers that all need to be trained and activities governed under their SOP. Maybe a little leaner and a little different for a small startup companies. If you don't make those correct decisions, whether it's on regulatory strategy or in the kind of SOP, so to say, you have in your QMS, it can become a hurdle rather than a tool, right? So tool because if you were a software developer that had never worked in regulated industry, you won't know where to begin. But if you have a well-written SOP that condenses all the regulatory standard ask, etc., in a simple to comprehend document that you can refer to. I do it even today. So the question yesterday was for a Class A 62304 software, right? Do you need to do software DFMEA? I forget, right? Even though I'm supposed to be expert on this, but small details could be gray area. I don't know what the standard says, but we just opened Qualio. This is true. This was yesterday. We popped up the document and we resolved, it's a solved problem. It's captured in our SOP or one of the documents. So taking an informed decision, so you're not doing too much or too little, I think is very wise. So.
Right. Appreciate that take on how to manage that. And our last question is more of a fun one, Navin. We like to ask each of our guests if we ran into you at a bookstore or at your local library, in what section would we find you?
So, maybe a few years ago, you would see me in science fiction. I love science fiction. Very enjoyable to me, but now that my company is not doing bad, right? I also go to the business section. There are some great business books that I read and come out learning something new. So yeah, I would say a 50-50 chance of finding me at science fiction section or business book section.
All right. Well, I would hope to bump into you next time in Boston. It was great having this conversation. Where can our listeners go to follow along and learn more about you and Digital Health Solutions?
So please visit our website, digitalhealthsolve.com. And I'm also on LinkedIn, and so is my company. Would love to connect with your audience, and it's never too early or too late to reach out to us. We're here to help. I truly believe in giving back to the medtech innovation industry. So look forward to connecting with some new folks, Meg. Thank you.
Lovely. It was a great conversation today, Navin. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of From Lab to Launch, brought to you by Qualio. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe and give the show a positive review. It really helps us out. For more information about Qualio, our guest today, or to be a guest on a future episode, please refer to the show notes. Until next time.